exact same way, because most books, what it is, it's 15 pages of gold and then 300 pages of fluff, because they can't sell you a 15-page book and people will pay $12 for that, even though it's really only 15 pages that are valuable.
Hey guys, welcome back to the fourth video of this series, and in this video we're going to replicate a really complicated 3D book animation. And because of that, I'm gonna have to split up the video into two parts, because the final video is around 1 hour in total and I don't want the people to only watch it halfway through. So just for the sake of that, I split it into two parts, but don't worry about that because the second part is coming just 12 hours later. I have the video edited, and if you guys want the project file in advance, just so you can see how I did this stuff, what you can do is you can redirect to the link in description, and once you redirect you'll be taken to my portfolio, and from my portfolio you can message me on WhatsApp, or what you can do is you can open Twitter, and once you open Twitter you'll see my tweet which has all the steps in order for you to get the project file. And just another thing, I'm going to make videos on how to edit like Ali Abdaal very soon, and this is one edit that I did recently. I'm gonna show it right now.
Last week I was reading a book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by the author Dale Carnegie, and in this book he explains 3 reasons why praying can solve all your stress and all your worrying. Number 1 is prayer puts into force an active principle of doing. If you constantly pray for something day after day, it's highly unlikely that you won't do any of the other actions or steps required to make that dream possible. Number 2 is that when you pray, you have to explain your problem in exact words. You know what they say, a problem well stated is half the problem solved, and that is because when you can identify what is the root cause of your worry, you're already solving half the issue, because at least you know now what it is you're worried about, and then you can figure out the ways of how to deal with it. And finally, number 3 is that simply when you pray, you have someone to share your problems with.
So stay tuned for this animation tutorial very soon. And with that being said, let's check out the animation in this video. And every asset that I use in this project file is gonna be linked in the description below. If you want the project file, follow me on Twitter and follow the steps that are written in the tweet. With that being said, let's get started. So just for your information guys, there were 3 videos previously, and I will just show you guys the animations that were done in the previous 3 videos. The most recent one was this one. And this is the second one.
People will try to discredit you because of your age, so don't give them any
And this was the third one.
So my main Instagram is just a stupid place where I post photo dumps from trips, business trips, what's going on in my life, stuff like that.
Let's get started. First thing you want to do is you want to create a composition 1920 by 1080p, and you get to the frame rate, make it 25. Duration of the animation, we're gonna make it 10 seconds. Just this way. Here we have a 10-second duration. Perfect. Here we have the video uploaded. I'm just gonna turn off the audio. Perfect. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set markers. So over here, I'm just gonna name the marker book entrance, and here book flipped, and here pages extended, and here lower pages out, and here upper pages out, extended version. So this is a long ass animation, but don't worry, I got you guys hooked up. Last scene, book with number. So just to quickly get started, I realized that in the previous videos I was taking a lot of time on the videos. This is why I imported the animation directly, in order to copy the designs fast and do all the stuff without taking a lot of time. So yeah, first thing we need is the blue page. Obviously, we're gonna come in here, you're gonna go to the rounded rectangle tool, and you're just gonna do this. Okay, our page is almost the same roundness. We're gonna come like this, and you're gonna adjust around this more if you want. I think the roundness is almost perfect. We're gonna align this in the middle, this way. Okay, and we're gonna duplicate it and just lower it down so that it's like this gray as well. Perfect. And here we basically have our book. This is gonna be filled with blue, the exact color. So I'm just gonna take this down. I'm gonna fill this stroke with the color like this. Gonna increase it to around 10 for example, and the one that's below, I'm gonna add a fill to it and just fill it with the most bluish part. So here we go. perfect. The stroke is a bit too much, so let's decrease that. I'm gonna check it out now. Now what we need to do is we need to design the rest. So I'm just gonna write this text. Let's take the font Montserrat. I don't know the font that Iman used, but I'm guessing this may be a similar font. So I'm gonna write typical. See, typical. Scale it up. So that's almost the same size. Amazing. But let's just make this a bit better. Gonna make it bolded out, I think. Okay, semi-bold is perfect. And we copy another text. Gonna write self improvement. I'm gonna have this bolded out the same way. This is a bit more bold. It's gonna be black. Perfect. Typical self improvement, not improvements. Amazing. And then just gonna duplicate the typical and write book in a huge text and make this big the same way. Now we have a very similar design. The colors are obviously a bit different, but don't worry about that. We just have to align everything. Let's do this and let's align everything. Now everything is aligned and it's perfect. Now honestly, I don't know what this icon is. I tried searching for it, but I couldn't find it. So I'm just gonna take the icon from here. It's not custom made, that's for sure. But they use a certain website. And yeah, that's it. It's perfect now. Duplicate this, remove the mask on one. Now we should be good to go. Let's check it out. Amazing. We already made our book. So what I have to do now is I just have to take the back page and duplicate it, because if you check over here, I'm gonna let you know why. See, over here, there's a back page, which is the same size exactly. So yeah, we don't want to mess with sizes. So I'm gonna duplicate this and I'm gonna name it as back. I'm just gonna hide this. And let's freeze this frame so that it's a photo now. Let me take all this and pre-compose it and name it front page. Here we go. We have our back page and we have our front page. So let's click on the video now. We want to go to this scene where we can see the back page. Amazing. I'm gonna link it to a null. Come here, get a null. Perfect. Now what I want to do is I want to check the distance. I want to do the exact same distance. So let's make the null 3D. I'm gonna move my this in the same way. Do we also want this down a bit? If that's not a problem. Perfect. Now we want to pull our back. Now we want to pull our back page down like this. You're gonna know what I'm doing shortly. It's a bit confusing right now, but don't worry. Now you can see the book is 3D and they're both behind each other. However, the distance is a lot. So to fix the distance, I'm gonna get like this, and this is just an estimate. I don't really know how much they did it. So yeah, let me get this back to default. Okay, now our both pages are behind each other, same way. Perfect. Okay, so this is gonna be a bit complicated, but can I get back to my null? You know how to do a null now, just the same way I did it previously. It's around -80 just. It's around -75 to be honest. Okay. Now this part is a bit tricky. What's the process? First thing, we want to count how many papers there are. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 papers that are going to be compressed the same way. So what I'm gonna have to do right now is I'm gonna have to duplicate this page, the back page, and I'm gonna make this white. We move it upward. And so somehow we try to squeeze 10 duplicates of this. Okay. We just want to keep doing this. Now we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we need last 3. I'm gonna copy paste it and just take this above the same way. Let's make sure we place it properly, and obviously it's a bit hard to see right now because they're camouflaging, but let's come and see what he did to make the pages look all visible properly. Amazing. I get what he did. Gonna add a gradient ramp, and we're gonna make the white on the close part the same way, and I guess we just duplicate this for all of them. We're gonna have to move this to differentiate it. See how it's differentiating right now? So you just keep repeating the steps until it's done, and I'm gonna be back to you guys once I do the steps 5 more times. So now what we want to do is we want to do the second part. So let's turn on the video. Okay. Obviously this is gonna be the animation part. So let's do the animation right now. Okay. 10's over here, just as we marked it. Alright, now we have our null. Oops, all of these are gonna have to be linked to this one. This one makes them 0. Now, all our pages are considered perfectly done, don't worry about that. Okay, so let's say this is gonna be a 1 minute animation from zoom in. So I'm gonna name it main back page just in order to differentiate. We're gonna do a scale from, let's see how much he did it. Alright, it's around 125, yeah. Let's say 130, and the graph is clearly, click F9, come here, speed value graph, do this, and do this, perfect. Let's differentiate, amazing. Here we want the flip to happen. You can see the book is flipped at this part, so we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do. You're gonna open R, you're gonna click rotation, shift U just to bring up the scale of this shit, and this is what's gonna flip it this way. Okay, so we wanna make this around -75 in the end. Okay, we're gonna keyframe from 0, come here, -75, just as we measured before. Okay, and this graph, what it's gonna do, it's gonna be in the middle. It's not gonna be anywhere else. So let's make this like, let's say 75 on the right side. You can see the percentage, right? And 75 on this side. So let's check it out. Okay, our is a bit smoother. Here it's much sharper if you see, and it's almost okay. It's almost like, yeah, it happens too sudden, but ours is actually nicer this way. If I make it sharper, now you guys know how to make it sharper. So I'm gonna make it like 90 on both sides. Yeah, you can see it's sharper now. And let's just time this correctly. Amazing, it's almost timed correctly. Let's check it out. Yeah, we can delay the rotation by a few seconds. Let's say like 2 frames, I would say. Perfect. Now we want to do the book extension, the pages extension. So for that, let's check the timing again. So why I'm checking the timing is because I want to keep making it accurate rather than, you know, making guesses like the previous video on the timings and stuff. But I still managed to make it very accurate for the last video without having the video on. So I'm just trying to do that for this video, is making it accurate as possible. So you can see even here it's going from this to this. Okay, perfect. So for this, the hack is to extend each one of these one by one. So for a better reference on that, I'm gonna click all these, click P on my keyboard, place a keyframe. The default keyframe is gonna go on the marker that has for page flipped. Gonna come back to page extended. Now we're gonna position all of these to their appropriate places. So our front page also needs to be keyframed. I forgot to keyframe our front page. So our front page comes like this. Our first page comes like this. Our second page comes like this. Our third page comes like this. And I'll come back to you guys once all of them are put in the proper place. And we're back. As you can see, the pages are all extended, so they will go like this. And obviously this is way too linear. So I'm gonna keyframe. I'm gonna graph all of these. Click F9 and we're gonna do the graph in the middle. So we're gonna make this part around 85 and this part, I mean, if it's 84, 83, it doesn't matter, you know, as long as it's like really close. Alright, good. Let's check it out now. Let's put this in third quality. Amazing. So it's gonna come like this. You can see? Amazing. Now, as for the pages, you can see that there is a wave over here on these pages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create this exact wave, and it's really easy. So you're gonna come to your paper, whatever paper it is, and you're gonna go to Effects and Preset panel. Once you go over there, you're gonna search up Wave Warp. So I have an extension that I can just click Control and Space, so it gets me the effect name over here. And you can see we have this wavy type thing. We don't want to mess a lot of the settings, but let's increase the height a bit. Okay. For the width, we have to increase it so that it's only like 2 waves. You can see it's very close now. Let's check it out now. It's really close. It's really close. So we're just gonna copy this wave warp and paste it on all the other pages that are in the middle. Now let me remove the focus. Let me remove the focus on the main clip as well. You can see now the colors are a bit messed up, but don't worry about that. We're gonna fix that later on. That's not a concern, don't worry. Now we have the pages moving, and now we want to go to the next part. We want to have these pages come out this way. Lower pages will be out at this point. So lower pages means the last 3 pages. Okay, you can see the position for these, and we're gonna set another keyframe for them. Okay, and we're just gonna move these. Let's put them on focus mode, and we're gonna move it like this, the same way. All right, you want to come over here and just do something real quick. I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna click on all the keyframes, right click on it. You're gonna go to keyframe interpolation, and over here, this one, make it linear. So now what you're gonna see, I'm gonna show you guys the difference. Look what happens like this. There is a certain wave, but we don't want that wave. We just want it to be going in a straight line, but not necessarily in a straight speed. Okay, so once you go to keyframe interpolation, spatial interpolation, and make this linear, see now the lines are straight, so they're gonna move properly. And we're just gonna set 80 for both of these. See, amazing. This is gonna be the graph. However, the timing is not exactly the same. Don't worry about that. What if I make it sharper? Okay, 85. This needs to be a bit delayed. Okay, now what we need to do is just gonna delay these one by one. So over here in Iman's video, the down one goes first. So we want the lower one to go first. And then the second one, gonna move it 2 frames ahead, and this one 2 more frames ahead. Now you can see, perfect. Amazing. Okay, now we wanna move the upper pages as well. For the upper pages, amazing. Upper pages will be out at this point. These are all the upper pages, everything below the third one. Gonna place position keyframe over here and the place where it starts, the moment it starts. So let's say 1 second before. Amazing. You're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna come over here, keyframe interpolation and linear. Amazing. So I set this keyframe because we wanted to stay at a certain place for some time. So if I move this keyframe, it's like there is no movement, so it's a pause, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna show you why I did that exactly later on. Now we wanna move all of these this way. And the graph that we wanna set for this one is probably gonna be this thing all the way right. Just like this. Amazing. It's the same graph. Now we want to delay it. So to delay it, what should we do? Is we move these two, you see? This way. Doesn't make that much of a difference, but the pause stays between these two close keyframes. 1, 2. 1, 2. I think this is 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay. Amazing. It's almost the same. Perfect. Perfect, 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 perfect. So let me close this thing. Let's see how it is now. Let me remove the focus. Okay guys, sorry for finishing the video with 2 parts, but don't worry, the second part is 100% coming tomorrow. Why I did this was because the video was way too long. It was around 45 minutes even after trimming it down. But if you guys want the project file early, make sure to check out portfolio in the description below and then DM me on my WhatsApp from there, or follow me on Twitter and follow all the steps. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna play a little preview of where we stopped to be able to catch up tomorrow. Peace out.
Exact same way, because most books, what it is, it's 15 pages of gold and then 300 pages of fluff.